You know, some weeks the hardest part of writing the diatribe is deciding what to talk about. This was not one of those weeks. In fact, the only real challenge this time was figuring out how to discuss the topic I wanted to talk about without just screaming what the fuck is wrong with these people with audible interrobangs for 5 minutes. Because seriously, what the fuck is wrong with these people? My inbox, my Facebook page, and my Twitter timeline were filled this weekend with links to stories about Starbucks' war on Christmas cups. I guess they're the latest victim of Christianity's bizarre persecution fetish, and there was no way they could have seen this one coming, because in the minds of America's most vocal Christians, the definition of persecution is so malleable that by this time next week, it'll mean of or relating to fruit bats. I mean, at this point, there are exactly 0 things that can't be crammed into their infinite well of imagined slights. See, I thought they hit rock bottom last April when they freaked out about Google's anti-Christian Easter doodle, which was, by the way, Google, written the way that Google writes Google. But the fact that sometimes they used to put bunnies and eggs and shit on the logo on Easter, and this year they didn't, that's persecution. And of course it is, because it's either an action or it's inaction, and if it's one of those things, it's Christian persecution. So naturally, I didn't think it could get any dumber than that. You know, when you start defining doing absolutely nothing as Christian persecution, how could it possibly get dumber? Well, you know, of course, how it could, because nobody ever went broke betting on American Christians to out-stupid themselves. But this week, the bar was raised, because the latest kick in the ribs of the baby Jesus comes in the form of Starbucks' holiday cups, which don't say anything about Jesus on them. And that, of course, is clearly an effort by liberal Satanists from the PC police to round up Christians and gay marry them to death in the wrong public bathroom. It's a red fucking cup. They're losing their goddamn minds over a Solo cup. It's red. That's it. It's blank. It's a red cup with a Starbucks logo on it. Beyond the name of the establishment and the symbol that establishment chose to represent themselves, no message is conveyed by this cup other than, I am red. And that is persecution. And why is it persecution? Because there's no snowflakes or ice skates on it. Now, okay, so let me back up for a second. Not everybody drinks Starbucks. I don't drink Starbucks. I didn't know that they were in the habit of changing their cups for the holidays, but apparently they are. Every year they'll unveil a new holiday cup with some seasonal shit on it. It'll have like a winking snowman or mittens or something. And sometimes those cups will have Christmassy stuff. Never the Jesus shit that the Christians love so much, but they'll do like ornaments or wreaths or reindeer or something like that. But this year they went with a plain red cup with no designs on it. And you know what? That's lazy. It's a crappy decision. You know, it's like when Time Magazine couldn't think of anybody who did anything that year, so they put the little mirror on the front of the Person of the Year issue. No, it was you, seriously. You know, somebody's job was to come up with a holiday design. They woke up the morning of. They said, fuck, I was supposed to do that thing. And then they saved their job with a bullshit thought we'd go minimalist this year spiel at a meeting. Good for them. But if you want to fault them for slacking ass or cheating some graphic design team out of a Christmas bonus this year, go right ahead. But Christian persecution? Why not call it nuclear holocaust or fish dentures? Because that's where I am with these guys now. Look, my humor works on analogy. Calling this persecution would be like calling a blank a blank. But that requires at least some kind of tangential connection between the first two things. At this point, I'm beyond the event horizon of parody. The stupidity is so densely packed that the normal rules of humor break down. Next week, they're going to be boycotting Panera Bread because squirrels don't wear little Santa hats. And I'm going to be throwing darts at a fucking thesaurus. I'll be like, I don't know. It's like gardening a pie with a termite. How's that? Does that not make sense enough? It's like jumping over a hiccup on a chagrin. I give up. It's too stupid to make fun of now. Because honestly, I try to get there and I can't. I try to put myself in their shoes and see how you can look at this plain blank cup and take it as an insult. And it's not even because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just want to know how they get there so I can make fun of them better. But I just can't do it. I can't even imagine a mindset where anti-me and not pro-anyone in particular are synonyms. I mean, unless they're randomly building a new language out of existing English words and they started with persecution, I honestly don't get it. Oh, and speaking of not getting it, I can't talk about this without mentioning the reaction of one of my least favorite uses of DNA, Josh Fierstein, a.k.a. Fat Guy in a Red Hat. Of course, this nincompoop had to sound off in 1/3 of a YouTube video about this controversy. He also proposed a solution that he ripped off from Eric Hovind. And if you thought the video where he demonstrated his Jesus-iness by giving his children loaded firearms was the stupidest thing he would ever stupid, strap in and keep your hands and feet inside the car at all times, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so first of all, you're bitching about a cup that looks exactly like your hat, dude. That's number one. If Starbucks is persecuting Christians, so is your fat fucking head. But that's just a spinach dip. Because here's how he's going to get back at Starbucks, right? He's going to give him money. And he's going to encourage his YouTube followers to give him money. But giving him money isn't the whole plan, of course, because he's also going to act like a dick about it. See, when the folks at Starbucks ask your name, Fierstein suggests that you tell them your name is Merry Christmas, so then they have to write Merry Christmas on the cup, huh? That'll show those bastards. And in the meantime, you might actually force a Muslim or a Jew or something into saying something that they feel uncomfortable saying because of their religion when they call out your name. Bonus points. Think of how unpersecuted Jesus will be then. After all, what good is freedom of speech if you can't use it to make other people say stuff they don't want to say, am I right?